History is not written only in books. It is written in stone, in ruins, and in silence. In the heart of South India lies a landscape of broken pillars and fallen temples. Today, it is called Hampi. Once, it was known as Vijayanagara, the city of victory. This is the story of how a dream became an empire, how an empire became legend, and how legend became memory. 7 centuries ago, South India stood at the edge of despair. The mighty Hoysala and Chalukya kingdoms had weakened. Armies from the north swept across the land. Temples were desecrated, villages were burned, fear ruled where faith once stood strong. The Tungabhadra River flowed silently through rocky hills, carrying whispers of a forgotten glory. It was here that two brothers, Harihara and Buka, wandered through stone and shadow, searching for a place where Dharma could rise again. One evening, as the sun sank behind the boulders, they met a sage, Vidyaranya. His robes were simple, but his eyes carried the weight of destiny. Here, he declared, shall rise a city that will shield the south. Build Vijayanagara, the city of victory. Protect the temples. Protect the people. Protect Dharma. Hope ignited like fire in dry grass. And so, stone met chisel, prayer met labor. From despair was born a city, not of fear, but of faith. Harihara and Buka dreamed of more than survival. Standing atop the rocky hills, they looked upon the land and spoke of destiny. These rocks shall be our walls, Harihara said. This river shall be our lifeblood. And within, Buka replied, our people shall live without fear. 7 massive fortifications rose, each wall embracing the city like armor. Within them, temples climbed toward the sky, markets awakened with sound and color. Faith and commerce walked hand in hand. Vijayanagara was no longer an idea, it was alive. In the year 1509, a king ascended the throne who would turn stone into gold. His name was Sri Krishnadevaraya. He was warrior and poet, conqueror and caretaker. He built canals that turned dry land into green abundance. He fed the hungry. He honored scholars. A ruler's wealth, he declared, is not gold, but the joy of his people. Under his reign, literature bloomed. Dance became devotion. Temples became wonders. Travelers from distant lands whispered in awe, never have we seen a city so rich, so alive. This was Vijayanagara at its zenith, a golden age that history would never forget. What is glory without trade? From Arabia came horses, from Persia came jewels, from China came silk. Hampi's bazaars stretched farther than the eye could see. Diamonds were sold like grain, spices perfumed the air, languages mingled in the streets, elephants paraded like kings, and the world came to trade. These markets were not just commerce, they were the heartbeat of an empire. But wealth alone does not give a civilization its soul. In temple courtyards, music rose with the lamps, venas sang, flutes whispered devotion. Dancers moved like living prayers, stone sculptors breathed life into granite. Poets filled royal halls with wisdom. In Vijayanagara, art was not decoration, it was devotion. To protect all this beauty, the empire needed strength. Vijayanagara's armies marched like thunder. Infantry stood disciplined, cavalry struck like lightning, elephants charged like mountains in motion. For centuries, the empire stood as the shield of the south. The sword guarded the veena, the shield protected the dance. But every empire faces a test. After the Golden Age came Aliya Ramaraya, clever, ambitious, proud. He played politics like a game, believing he controlled every move. They will never unite, he laughed. I hold them in my palm. But arrogance blinds even the sharpest mind. And in secret, enemies joined hands. On the plains of Talikota, destiny waited. Armies faced one another, tens of thousands strong. Cannons roared, elephants charged, the earth trembled. At first, victory seemed certain. Then came betrayal. Allies turned inward. Chaos erupted. Aliya Ramaraya was captured and executed. In a single day, a golden empire was broken. What followed was not war, but destruction. Hampi burned. Temples were desecrated, palaces looted, markets reduced to ash. Families fled. Music fell silent. The city of victory became a city of sorrow. And then only ruins remained. Yet Vijayanagara did not die. The Virupaksha temple still stands. Its bells still ring. The stone chariot still waits, silent, eternal. Today, the stones whisper stories of kings and poets, of dancers and warriors, of glory and loss. Empires fall, culture endures. Vijayanagara lives on, in stone, in memory, and in every heart that remembers. History does not end, it waits. And when we listen, the stones speak.